Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Overwatch Oasis. This will be week 5 of season 5, and we have Kosmic Omnics going up against Zanshin Tactics. I will be your color commentator, Crypto, this evening, joined by the motor mouth himself, Uravity. Say hi, Uravity.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And our fantastic observer, Kitty, will be picking the action up for you. And I hope you're all enjoying. What are your thoughts on this game, Uravity?
I'm really excited for this game. Zanshin Tactics have I've been able to cast one of their games in the past already. Very exciting team to watch, as well as like Kosmic Omnics. Towards the end of last season, I got to play a game against them, and it was really fierce, as well as a recent scrim where they put up some pretty good results. So I'm excited to see both of these teams play. I think there's some real back and forth potential here between both these teams.
I agree. A win from either of these teams, I think, will be big for their morale, their position going forward. We're still early in the season, so there's lots of time left. But the sooner you get the win streak rolling, the better, right?
Absolutely.
We do see both teams running out on pretty standard-ish, brawly Lijiang control comps. The Xin Moira being the only sort of flex on the side of KO that's a little interesting. Otherwise, very standard.
So we see both teams flashing in this white room here. Both using the Mei, able to get a nice wall on the Zanshin Tactics, but the damage from their Junkrat from Daddy Needs You is just going to go crazy here in this white room with the way they were positioned. That's going to be a very fast team kill favoring Zanshin Tactics.
That is, Tier 3 has a Junkrat problem, and that Junkrat always feels like it's the answer.
Yeah.
And people play him as such. But this is a map where even Overwatch League level players still are playing Junkrat in 2020. Like, Junkrat just works so well here. And that opening fight really just showcases that fact.
Cat with a really nice pick on the Mystic Angel using the orb there. The Moira orb. And a nice wall coming through, kind of isolating K2. And a really good flank pin coming in. Daddy gonna use a Riptide here, try and even this out, finds roster. Not quite enough for the numbers to flip. Actually, never mind. Daddy Needs You with a nice landmine on the Pokken. Is that gonna be enough to flip this for them? Awesomely stuck in a trap right now. Blizzard being invested from Zanshin Tactics doesn't actually find anything, but does buy them some space here. Kosmic Omnics, though they are up in numbers, haven't actually managed to find their way onto the point yet. They're pushing in just now. KDB able to stun roster backward a little bit here. And with the help of the Mei, K2 is able to push in. Gravitic Flux coming up, finds 4, and a final blow onto Awesomely. They don't have any more bubbles to work with, and Mei just used Cryo, but a nice pin from Roster, finds Daddy Needs You, but the Mortar will actually find Roster. Demo gets frozen here, however, protected by K2, and a huge Blossom coming out from Pokken. Crossfire with the Riptide finding 2, and KO are going to bust this fight open and take the point for themselves.
Along the slow, painful death of Frostbite. Can't even get respected with an icicle to the dome,
Zanshin are doing a long right rotation here. Gonna meet him in the server room. Almost really crucial wall to isolate roster. Doesn't quite find them though. And now Kosmic are going to use a wall of their own to kind of protect themselves. A huge Graviton Surge, finding 4 members of Zanshin Tactics. However, an even bigger wall. Roster's isolated, gets the beat though. Shatter coming through, not actually able to find anything, and gets pinned to the wall. K2 finding the final blow of the roster, turns around, shatters 2 members of Kosmic Omnics, and the final blow coming through from Pokken. Can Crossfire turn this around with Riptide finding K2? That might not be enough yet. Daddy Needs You takes out Awesomely with their own though. And it's just the supports here on point. They're relying on Crossfire to get these picks in the white room, as well as Roster, who's coming up behind them all. The supports are doing a really good job stalling out this point, but KDB finds Crossfire, the main source of DPS for this team. The Flux doesn't pick anything up, but the Blizzard finds the main tank and Moira. Cat's just frozen there, using the Fade to get back on point and the Healing Orb to help themselves out a little bit. Now we see the Lucio on point, kind of stalling, using the wall right on around the edges of the point. Awesomely comes back, but the damage is just coming through for Zanshin Tactics. Crossfire here on the Doomfist, finding Daddy E2. Almost got a pick onto the Mei of Demo, but not quite enough. Zanshin Tactics flipped the point again.
That was a pretty solid fight out of KO there.
Roster actually getting out alive there is crazy, and they get the free through the K2, they flip it! Devo's in a lot of trouble here, able to find their way out. Living Truth is frozen, but now KO just have to make a mad dash for the point. They're actually having to ignore kills and turn their back, but KO is still finding the kills on the way to point. But Blizzard gets invested, Roster finding 2 final blows of his own. KO gonna keep themselves alive and actually in a favorable position to take this objective.
They're really, like, struggling to win fights quickly, and they're losing fights super quickly, which is a rough combo on Control, where you don't have that much margin for error in your timing. This is going to be last fight, and they're down KDB.
Coming in here, K2 looking for a shatter. They find it, but a huge wall! They don't touch point! KO actually managed to take this first objective.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
Definitely. Oh boy, we're gonna see a double window teleport, I assume. Either that or another really good combo here is to use a teleporter just to get out of the spawn door and use the Lucio speed boost to kind of beat the other team to point.
Yeah, I would really like both teams to window tele here, and Zanshin is going to have a huge advantage if that goes through with the double tank.
Gonna go on ahead and make it to point.
Tellies go through, but Crossfire is actually very much out of this fight.
K2 just charged off the map because of a boop from somebody on that team. Katie, I assume? But trade's kind of back and forth thanks to the turrets from one of the Sims.
No, that fight actually went kind of disastrously for Zanshin Tactics. They should have had that relatively cleanly, just due to the fact that their comp is so much better at this point fight. But they couldn't make it happen, and that's going to be a problem now that they lost control. Getting back is going to be so much more difficult without that Lucio. Going coast here against the Lucio ball is going to be very dangerous.
Awesomely finding 3.
Yeah, saw that one coming, unfortunately. Awesomely big poppin' here, finding 4 in that fight.
Like, a huge fan of this ball pick at first, because they were running the Sim strat. I felt like the Brawl comp that Zanshin were running would have had a better chance, but awesomely proving me wrong here. This is a really nice pincer ult attack here.
Yeah, awesomely actually going in, blocking the way out, and then they drag in that room, and as they were trying to run out, awesomely actually engaged and booped them back into the dragon. Not finding a huge amount of kills directly, but, you know, preventing the escape.
Just pushed into this little cafeteria area and just wiped out the remaining members of Zanshin while they were still down in numbers. That was a really nice stagger push there. Live in Truth, we see swapping over to the D.Va. They believe that to be the best pick here. They've got to do something. They're in one-fight territory now, and they haven't accumulated a single % for themselves yet. They take this upper rotation, drop down, awesomely swinging up there, using the slam, lifting most members. This wall coming through is going to be really, really helpful for Kosmic. K2 having a really hard time pushing in. Mystic Angel has already used their Coalescence. Trades back and forth. Demo with the Blossom finding 3 on point, though. A great job positioning themselves where they were. And Zanshin Tactics at the final moment going to find themselves flipping this objective, keeping their Li Jiang hopes alive. And looking at the ult back too, they actually have a pretty good chance of holding this for a while. The rest
Yeah,
of the match.
they're not in terrible shape. This composition, I think, favors against the ball now.
Shatter from K2, knocking down Pokken and Doctor. Great follow-up. Roster able to find KDB and Mystic Angel. Zanshin are down their support line now. They actually have to play very carefully.
Yeah, Katie's swapping over to the Lucio will get them back and give them a little more mobility on point. But they, honestly, they're so at risk here. I would back...
Yeah, they have a window of opportunity here to really kind of get Zanshin while they're down. But the supports have made it back. Most of their team is top back off.
They're going on a huge flank with the Telly. This is actually enormous brain.
Crossfire with just the dragon kill, and Cat pushing in now, finding a final blow of their own. KO are collapsing in on Zanshin. They haven't managed to find a final blow of their own yet. It's chaos on point. Can this Riptire turn things around? The beat coming out, though, going to make it really hard to find any final blows with it. It's coming from spawn, and they're having a hard time getting it over the wall. It might not actually make it to the body of the team. It finds the final blow onto the Hanzo and weakens up the Reinhardt, but the heals are coming through. Demo's on point as Reaper trying to chunk down the tanks for what's left of their health from the Riptire. K2 charging on the point, doesn't actually find the Miracle Pin, but is dealing a lot of damage. The Reinhardt buff has gone through. The squishies are hurt. The bomb comes in, doesn't find any final blows, but it buys them space, which is what they need. K2's finding a kill with the Fire Strike on the roster. Charging back in on the point, still doesn't find just a crazy pin kill. These supports, though, buying a lot of time. Cat finally falling, but we see Doctor on the point, on the Lucio, able to hang in there just a little bit longer, buying Cosmic time. Every second they're not giving any percentage to Zanshin is huge for them. Daddy needs to try to get another final blow. This has just evolved into madness on the point. Coalescence, a huge shatter from roster, and the pulse bomb from Crossfire able to weaken up a bunch of members of the team, including a kill. But the Coalescence from Mystic Angel, keeping the team healthy and finding a final blow. And it looks like Zanshin are going to flip it back.
That was an incredibly clutch fight on the side of Zanshin Tactics. Unfortunately, also incredibly expensive, with basically no ultimates left on either side. Just one beat on the side of KO.
And Daddy Needs You will get this Riptire. They're going to have to use that beat perfectly on the side of KO. Awesomely getting a bit trapped in here, but they find Demo! That's a huge opening pick! Shatter doesn't find anything! Things are going KO's way, awesomely with a slam kill on the K2! Now, though the sound barrier's been used, the Riptire just needs to stall out a little bit. It finds a kill on the Pokken. Is that going to be enough, though? Awesomely with another environmental kill on the Mystic Angel. Things are falling apart for Zanshin at the last moment. Demo's back on the Doomfist. Can they find any final blows? They do. They get the Lucio out, but roster takes out Doomfist. Can K2 make it back onto the point in time? They're charging in. They do make it, but they get stuck with a pulse bomb. And that might be it for them.
So, Zanshin is a team that I feel like has been thriving on a lot of their coordinated play as much as anything, but their individual play actually really let them down in that last fight. Demo kind of went out and got himself killed on the Doomfist, which is easy to do. I understand. You know, but then we see K2 dropping the Shatter and just misjudging the range of Shatter, so he didn't... Like, he had a clear path to, like, a 2 or 3 man Shatter, but they were too far away, so they didn't get anything. And just little things like that cost them what could have otherwise been a very winnable fight to take that point. But I think the bigger story of this is a new KO. This is a really good look from KO.
I agree. Okay.
I mean, say just like the things that stood out were the way that they're like comboing ults, not just in a traditional sense, but like in a very creative sense. Like Mines on one side, Dragon on the other, try and run through Dragon and get booped back in by K2 on ball. Is like that's just a nasty combo. And then we see Roster and Pokken go on the long flank. Like, they tallied all the way across from their side to the enemy side and came in through the enemy side coast to drop the flank, like, 3-man shatter, which cleanly, very clearly won them that point for basically free. Just never letting Zanshin get any semblance of control going on Night Market. Control Center was a little closer, but I also think Control Center doesn't let you be quite so creative in how you play sometimes. And it seems like KO are really thriving on that creativity tonight. It should be an interesting thing to watch out for.
We'll be heading to Hollywood next, I believe. That'll be a fun map to watch from both sides. We did get to see Awesomely on the ball, and we saw, I think it was it Live in Truth over on the side of Zanshin Tactics, swapped over to Diva at a point. Both those heroes pretty decent on pretty decent on Hollywood. And I'm sure we'll see plenty of new Rhine there as well. There's a lot of different things you can do with Hollywood, and both these teams are pretty decent at all of them. You can run a pretty traditional brawl on it. You can run dive. I don't know how much I recommend dive defensively, but it definitely works offensively. Bunker is good. Well, as good as Bunker can be right now. Bastion Bunker, though. You could see a Bastion. You could set Bastion up pretty nicely on A. There's room for a lot of the creativity that Crypto was referring to earlier. Hollywood's a very diverse map as far as pathing goes, both in just routes and verticality of the map. A lot of high ground to be played with.
First point, you can have a couple different telly strat. I actually think the telly to cafe, like roof and through strat, is a little underrated. And nobody plays this anymore, but I always like the go through security, but then immediately back into the hallway, quick rotate, and then come out through cafe into a fight.
I think that is a criminally underused tactic for uprooting bastions, in my opinion.
Well, people see a bastion and their brains melt and like slide out their ear. It seems like a lot of times, and that's not like that happens to literally everybody, myself included. Ways you could have beaten that that you'll never think of in the moment, but watching back, you're like, oh yeah, that'd work. I think you were going to say something, Kitty?
No, I think when I was fixing everything around for the next stream, I turned off my audio to broadcast.
Oh.
Yikes.
It's okay.
We promise, chat. Kitty's talking to us. We're not crazy. Well, I mean, maybe a little, but not for that reason. Oh.
Bye, Cody.
Anime Weeb AJ has dipped. I didn't see. It doesn't show me who just left now.
It was a Sovereign.
Okay.
AJ should be here and in.
Yeah, he's in there.
On
Anime
tank.
Weeb AJ.
Yeah.
There we go. There's Sovereign.
Did swaps go through already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we do get to see more of the roster awesomely tank line. Watching roster and K2 go at it on Reinhardt's that last set was really fun. It felt really back and forth, not like a clear victor as far as your Rhine duels go.
If anything, I might give the straight up, overall, the head-to-head a little bit in favor of K2. The just overall team play was by far the stronger component. Actually, you know what that strategy on Night Market reminded me of a little bit? The old LH Cloudy 3-man hit squad from Gladiators. Where you use a May and a Lucio to go places where Reinhardts aren't supposed to go, and then you show up and nobody's like, wait, why is there a Reinhardt here? And then you die. Exact same vibes, different methodology.
Yep.
Psalms is a bully. It's mighty unfortunate.
So we will see Manila, who was not in on last map, as well as Silly Night Raven and Anime Weave AJ, as well as Into the Mystic, I believe.
I saw somebody in chat earlier was calling you a top tier main tank there, Raffy. Like right when the stream first went live, they're like, "Isn't your Raffy a top tier main tank?" I don't know who Timos is or Timmons is.
I don't know who that is.
But take your big ups.
I appreciate the compliment.
What are your chat predictions, chat? What are your map predictions, chat? Brain no work, no talk me.
Okay, we have ready.
So you had... Did you do Fantasy this week, Kitty?
I don't.
Have you done Fantasy League?
No.
I'm looking at you with, like, evil and sad puppy dog eyes.
I'm not usually used to it. It's just like I'm surprised Wukong doesn't do it, because he's into like fantasy leagues, but I'm really I'm too lazy.
That's fair. It's just pick a team and score. That's it.
See, but the thing is, I would probably pick a team just because my friends are in there. Be like, well, I hope they win, not because they're actually looking good or they're actually doing good.
Yeah.
I would pick like KO and White Walker just because of Charles and Wukong. That's all I would say.
The old homie Strife, who's on Stardust with us. That's how he picked his week 1 predictions. Was based on teams he liked and teams with cool names, and he got points. The least points of anyone, but points. I'm disappointed, Bulky, that you're not in my fantasy league. Like, come on, dude. Just I send out the ping every week. I know you'd be in on this. But it sounds like we're going into game.
Yeah, we do got both ready.
Hollywood. That's where I wanna be.
Oh my goodness.
So
on the attack first, we will have Zanshin Tactics. Defending first, Cosmic Omnics.
Yeah.
Oops.
We don't gotta swap sides yet.
Hopefully they've got some sick attack tactics.
Ideally.
And they can bounce back off of this series. We could just call them the Attactics. I don't know. Okay, so we see...
Tough crowd, okay.
Yeah, I know, like, damn. It be how it be, I guess. We do see a pharmacy coming in on the attack, along with Demo on the hit scan, and I will never forget Demo's hit scan. The last game that Yurabi and I casted last year, it was Demo versus Chase Swanson, and it was the battle of the who can put their team on the hit scan carry train more. Like any other match in history that I have seen in OwO, Demo would have had DPS MVP, except that Chase did the same thing plus 5%. But Demo's hit scan is nasty, and I hope we get a little piece of it here.
Well, we do start this off with Manila taking out their only counter on the side of Cosmic Omnics. Into the Mystic, gonna get the res though. KDB actually ends up over the building, losing their Manila pocket. able to fly back to safety, but Roster with a crazy fire strike from downtown, finding the pick on the Lily Night Raven. KDB, however, on Mercy as well, gonna res that right back up, and this fight continues on 6v6. We do see K2 maybe looking like they're trying to rally Zanshin for an alley push, but not quite all put together. Yeah, Sovereign looked like they wanted to push in, just got the memo.
I definitely like to see this alley rotation.
Including this Manila and Farah. Now they're going to fly back in, do the pincer attack. Crossfire with the Riptire trying to dance around the shield, but decides to go away from the Reinhardt kill, finds Lily Night Raven, arguably more valuable in terms of just hero selection. Manila not quite dealt with on the Farah though, but without that Moira for Zanshin, they can't really push because KDB is kind of glued to helping Manila. Look at K2, who is still below half health. Just got healed up above it. Really hard for a Mercy to kind of bounce between the team and the Farah. But K2 opening it up with a pick on the Crossfire. Now the barrage coming out from Manila, just kind of waiting to push KO into an unfavorable position. Split him up enough. Cat goes for a ride with K2 into the security room. Cleanup has been done. Zanshin looks like they should take point A here.
A bit of a slow fight on the side of Zanshin tactics, but on this map type, you can get away with some slow pushes as long as you convert them.
Awesomely swapped over to Wrecking Ball, and is just here to have a good time right now. Crossfire finding a pick on the Demo though. Doesn't look like KO is going to get in position to touch, unfortunately. Might have actually had a fight on their hands there. Roster with the kill on the Sovereign.
Sovereign, I assume, trying to prevent the recontest, but really goes far too aggressive, to be very frank.
KO's actually going to find themselves having a hard time getting through this gate now.
I'll be interested to see...
The res from KDB gets Night Raven back up in the fight. They've got their Diva back. KO looking at a fallback.
A pretty aggro bomb here from Sovereign. It might just be the ticket.
AJ with a pick
Manila
on the Manila.
already down.
The res isn't online right now, I believe. Crossfire up on the high ground, trying to take Demo off of it. Needs a healing station and all to get it done, but the Ash has been uprooted. Sovereign throwing in that bomb you were talking about. Immortality field goes up, but they have to turn around and the Shatter comes through.
K2 really
ends up being the one to fall.
K2 going far too long on that charge, putting himself in a lot of danger, and
Mystic actually gets the res off right in front of Sovereign. AJ's been brought back into the fight on McCree, however gets immediately knocked off that high ground with the micro missiles. Bob on point, just trying to keep KO from touching again. Sovereign might have gone in a bit too deep, bit off a bit more than they could chew. Roster finding the D-Mech and pushing him back. Demo looking for the off angle in front of the saloon. Overstays their welcome just a bit too long. KDB, however, K2, decent positioning, with huge shatter coming out from Roster. 3 members of Zanshin go down to it. Unfortunately, though, Roster falling. The res coming through, though, never happened now. Manila trying to get out. They've swapped to Soldier. They run inside the... I don't know what you would call that. The studio?
Yeah.
They managed to get out, though.
So this is... This is difficult. I feel like Sovereign maybe took the Diva buffs a little too seriously, because Diva's not invincible, and they're playing like she is in a lot of ways. I understand wanting to, body block out the Soldier ult, but you can't. Like, not while they're in the middle of their team.
Picking up 2 here. Actually, a really nice direct from AJ on the lifted Demo. And now between Crossfire and AJ, this pincer attack from KO is looking
also
lethal, and it becomes
the back cap.
There is a back cap happening. Sovereign's just vibing on point.
Sovereign just not
I will say
assisting
the
in that
cart
team
does
fight.
move a significant amount. That is, they did not manage to get the cart pushed around the corner last time I checked.
They did not. But on the other side,
the golden
Sovereign
box
D-Max
moves if they don't actually complete this point.
I mean, I don't think it matters. Like, I don't... Right now, they have no way of attacking this that's going to provide a lot of success. They need to take this high ground.
Manila popping the tack visor, forcing their Farah AJ out of the sky, but Roster's literally just going to stare at him with shield up and not move.
Frankly, that was a terrible ultimate. Like, just completely wasted.
AJ with a pick on the Sovereign. KDB gonna res it. They're gonna get their mecha back here. K2's trying to uproot this team, but KO is so split around them right now that KO's just kind of deciding to take the fights they feel like taking, and they're winning them.
Yeah, like
K2's alone with KDB over here in front of the studio right now. Sovereign and Night Raven are nowhere near to help them right now. They're just not rotating over.
I agree. This is a rough look. Sovereign has spent more time out of their mech on point 2 than time in, like very easily.
Yeah, it feels like
Nice
Zanshin's
sleep
just not...
on the roster. This might be the opening they need. A shatter too to prolong the stun. It finds both the tanks. K2's on point, but Crossfire's Tag Visor finds 3 people. And then Roster with the cleanup on K2 and a shatter on the Night Raven, making sure the touch doesn't happen. Manila doesn't drop quick enough. And it looks like KO are going to hold on point B.
A very convincing hold on point B at that.
I would agree.
It just seemed like Zanshin didn't... They maybe weren't deciding which rotations to take. Because how you were saying that we had some people going one way and then other people going the other way, and...
They were very much out of sorts.
I think even KO was a little confused, like, okay, well, where are they going?
Yeah.
Well, it's like when Manila went up to high ground to 1v6 with his Tac Visor, and Roster's just like, Tac Visor has less total damage than my shield, so I'm gonna just sit here. Like,
I think too, they weren't expecting Roster to be up there. He was playing Reinhardt. You rarely ever take high ground here. So he's just like, okay, well, there's a big German man up here, and okay.
I think that KO's positioning totally threw off Zanshin tactics. They just were not ready to counter it. I don't think they prepared for KO to play like that.
Again, creative is the word, I think. It seems to be the KO theme of the evening is creativity.
I would agree, because like I don't know if I would have been ready for KO to have thrown that at me. Given now I've seen it, I will be.
And we see them coming in. They have a Symmetra, which I assume is going to be a Telestrat combined with just very punishing on this double shield.
They're actually doing the TP Cafe that you had been talking about. Roster was got antied there, manages to get healed back up. We do see our Demo getting really aggro in the cafe. Gonna pay for that though. Roster hit by another anti-nade. Gonna prevent the aggression. The bubble cleanses it though, and they go out on the aggressive heavily. K2 though finds a pick on the Crossfire. Is it gonna be enough? They get the pick as well on the Roster, but the res comes through on the Crossfire. The instant pick potential's back. However, Crossfire gets hit by a rock. However, slamming back in, finding Lily, Night Raven, and the shatter gets canceled by K2. This is not the situation you want to be in if you're Zanshin. You needed to burn as much time as you could on point A.
A minute and your only ultimate you built is not how you... Burning 1 minute and the ultimate you built is not how you wanted to point A to go.
Bye, Daddy need to.
And KO kind of stalked. You know, looking at both support ultimates... Manila
Crossfire
already
really
dead.
early pick on the Manila. And now they're going after Lily Night Raven here in front of the hotel. Are they going to be able to find the kill? They do. And they're going to use their ult to get out. Not even to get out. They're just going to use it for more damage. They have fed Crossfire to Zanshin for positioning. And it's working out. A huge shatter from Roster finding 3. Can they find the pick on the KDB as well? They're after the Sigma Sovereign. They find it. Now they're after KDB's Lucio, who is just stalling on point for everything they can. I don't know if Zanshin are going to get another clean fight here. They need a hero play to turn this fight back around for them. They don't even have an ultimate online to do so yet. Manila falls to the turrets pretty quickly. Can Lily Night Raven and Demo alone hold? Unfortunately, though, our Demo taken out by Crossfire, and awesomely the grab coming out. KDB uses the beats to keep them all up, but it gets antied themselves, and Roster's just swinging on point with the nano. Nobody's gonna be able to stop them. And Cosmic Omnics with a really fast Hollywood take on their attack. Take Hollywood.
That
Wow.
was a strong showing from KO. This is a whole new team. Like, whew, looking very spooky.
Oh, just right
That's
under
a
the
large
shield.
shatter. The 914. 71% KP coming out of Crossfire. That's nasty.
Yeah, like I told
Definitely.
you, he's a stinky player.
And the
Anybody else?
86
Anybody else on Doom would have like ulted out, but no, he just ults right back in.
Well, that's what I was actually getting ready to make a comment that he did the used every single one of his cooldowns to secure a kill, which is not usually, well, it's usually death if you're a Doomfist. But then it's like, oh, he's got his ult, he'll get out, you know. And he used his ult, and I'm like, okay, and went straight right back in. I'm like, what a bit of a okay. But they made it work. The sacrificial positioning lamb, if you will.
And he gets rest by
Yeah.
Mystic. He's like, oh, you died? It's okay, go back in. There you go, buddy.
The Demo Doomfist was terrifying that round.
The Demo Doomfist?
The Demo Doomfist. Why did I say Demo Doomfist? Probably because it was easier to say. You know what I meant.
I think
The
because
Crossfire
Demo,
Doomfist.
Crossfire
Demo played
Doomfist.
Doomfist map 1, that's probably why. Yeah, I think as soon as you were calling, I was like, wait, I think they might be able to hold if this person's alive. Like, no, now they're dead because Cross killed them. Okay, never mind.
There was actually a kill Crossfire got onto Demo while they were on Junkrat, I believe, wasn't it? On point B, it actually might have been a decent chance for them for Zanshin to have held. But I didn't realize Crossfire had managed to climb their way up to the top of the saloon and then slam down onto the top of the prison.
So I want to bring an update to you from the other match that's happening right now. White Walkers up 2-0 versus Prodigy Noobs.
Ooh.
Crypto, did you get
Which,
closer to your mic?
no.
Okay,
I
now
did
it's,
not.
now
You-
it's
You sound very loud now. Like it sounded like you got a lot closer to
just
your
for
mic.
a second, yeah, it sounded like you did.
Like, now still?
You're good now.
You're good now.
Okay.
Just the
like,
excitement of the White Walkers and Prodigy Noobs games got to him, that's why.
I mean, if I talk like this, is it louder?
Yes.
Okay, I guess if I look straight at my mic, it's a little bit louder, but I have a Lavier mic on, so it's not like I'm looking at my chest. Yeah, so we have two potential upsets going on right now. Sounds like pretty dominating upsets at that.
How's the other game
Which
going?
is 2-0 to White Walkers.
Ooh.
2-1 to White Walker. Wait, no.
2-1.
My sources are rough. 2-1 to White Walker. 2-0 to White Walkers. There, done. Yes, 2-0.
Yes,
White Walkers up
that
2-1.
one.
That one. There we go. And the Stardust Crusader News Network, they get you there, but it might take a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
But let's talk about this game. Like, again, mad creativity out of Cosmic Omnics. Individual play stronger in Cosmic Omnics. Team play stronger in Cosmic Omnics. They are just crushing it this evening.
They are.
I mean,
I
even
don't-
just Anime Weave AJ staying on the sim after they already taken the point. Like usually you see the swap. I would have seen him swap it up to Sombra, but just staying on sim and those turrets on the payload and being placed sometimes around. It was I wasn't expecting it at all.
I
Right.
wasn't either. The wall is actually like after they used Crossfire as the sacrifice for positioning, they basically set up a wall across his dead body and the payload, and then just kept pushing the payload, but fighting on the safe side of the shield wall. And that's what let them get the res off onto Crossfire as well. And like it was just it all worked so well together.
I agree. The synergy with Cosmic Omnics tonight is absolutely through the roof. They look like a completely different team tonight than they have the rest of the season. And by that I mean all of 2 games. So we were absolutely likely to see some turnarounds from teams before the end of the season. It's nice to see Cosmic Omnics are getting their sort of turnaround start early.
No, you know, it's true. It goes both sides. If you're on top, it's hard to stay at the very tippy top. You White Walkers, you know, it's hard. But at the same time, it's also true when you're an underperforming team. You know, you're on the lower side of the leaderboard. The urge to make changes and to improve, and you putting in the grind hours and you putting in the work. It's hard for that to not pay off at some level.
Right.
And it seems like KO have made that happen. Like, even if they get reverse swept here, which I don't think is seeming very likely.
I mean, we never
Even
know. We still haven't
No,
gotten those swaps from Zanshin, so maybe switching it out might get them to like click here.
Quite possibly.
Absolutely. But like, even if that happens, this is a good match. Like,
Yeah.
KO looking revived. Like the storyline is there. I think regardless of what happens over the next 2 to potentially 3 maps. Are we still waiting on swaps?
Yep.
I imagine Dad is probably
He
running
said
on the
1
late
minute.
side.
They got 3 more minutes left.
Oh yeah, we get 7. Right.
Yep.
So maybe I was
feel-
thinking it was 3.
Something we saw on map 1, we talked a little bit about KO. I do want to talk about Zanshin and their ability to kind of bounce back here, and Volskaya being a good map for them to do it on. Given information from a prior map on Lijiang, Volskaya has a lot of points, and I know there are only 2, but there are a lot of points in Volskaya where you'll be fighting, and the fight can just devolve into pure chaos, which in my time that I have gotten to watch Zanshin Tactics play games this season, those do seem to be the moments where they really thrive. It's just when fights get purely chaotic and it just comes down to like who can get the next final blow, things will kind of swing that way, or the next ult that comes online, kind of just crazy madness fights. Zanshin Tactics like tend to win those fights most of the time. And we saw that on like Lijiang Tower with them.
Yeah, that one night market fight that they just like pulled from absolutely nowhere.
I think there were 2 fights on Night Market that kind of went that way, where it's like they couldn't get like a good planned fight, so they just went on point, threw 6 players on point, and then like KO have no plan. It's like, okay, well 6 of them are on point. You can't really plan around that. You just have to fight it better, and that was when Zanshin Tactics seemed to have an edge over KO. It was whenever KO could kind of attack them with a plan and get to them before Zanshin had a real chance to throw a wrench in the fight that KO started looking better. And I do think that Volskaya is a bit easier to do that with because there's not a whole lot of like fancy pathing to be done with this map unless you play like a very specific composition.
Yeah, the funkiest thing I could think of is if you do Bastion Telefortress, maybe?
Yeah.
And even then, that's like you can try it on. I mean, it's viable on offense 1, but like not on offense 2 or like point 2. Like you can't really do anything there.
Right.
And also, I brought it up and then it, turned into a big old nothing burger. But Demo hit scan on point A and also B here has a chance to make a nice impact. Which I would have thought it would have made an impact on Volskaya or on Hollywood too, but it didn't. So maybe I'm just a dingleberry.
Alright, we do have swaps. Okay.
And
So we do see Mystic Angel and Daddy Needs You being brought in, as well as Live in Truth again.
indeed, I think while the Manila Farah looked good if a touch slow on Volskaya A, I feel like the Daddy, Junkrat looked pretty filthy on
It did.
Control Center. Now, I'm not quite so sold on it on Volskaya, at least not in every spot. K2 out for Zoms. Oh,
Yep,
Kitty
out.
got it. Kitty the lobby queen.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a hot minute. Okay, I think alright, that's both readies.
Okay, so on the side of Cosmic, I'll talk about it again when we have a chance to look at their lineup, but they actually made a few role swaps over there.
I think it was actually all of them except the tank line's the same.
Yeah. Like we saw Dr. Penguin Jr. Played Lucio on Lijiang Tower, now on the DPS line, as well as Pokin. I believe they were... No, I think Pokin was the Sim on Lijiang.
Yes, he was.
And then you have Syndicate Slayer, who is actually generally known for being a really good Genji within Tier 3, is on the support line. Crossfire, who we've seen on the DPS line all night, on the support line. So a very
Crossfire?
mixed up little... Yes.
Yeah, no, everything a little juggled. Crossfire hovering. Oh, no, I got baited. He had armor, and I was like, oh, he's hovering the brig. But, oh, nay.
Oh no, he doesn't play break. He's a
We're seeing a... I looked at the tank line. Not as standard brawl as I had thought initially, but still a very, very bunkered down aggro sort of... They're going to be able to take whatever positioning they want with this composition. The Mei is going to be able to claim space really well, and if the Mei isn't scary enough, the Junkrat's going to break whatever it is that's keeping you in your position.
I'm really upset that Lily isn't up on this high ground with Demo right now. That's just a misplay. And positionally, that high ground is so much nicer. Because you can always drop. But
Life is hard when you play ball into a Mei and then into Junkrat.
Yeah, if he doesn't
And there
swap,
goes
he's
awesomely to
throwing.
Demo.
Oh my.
TP strat going through still, so Crossfire on the point, 1 HP, but it's really just gonna kind of come down the cleanup for KO here. Or no, sorry, Zanshin. The colors flipped.
Actually, Crossfire really dying quite slowly there.
I saw that, Zoms.
We do see swaps. Penguin Jr. going over to the Farah. Farah gonna have pretty much a field day against this DPS line on the side of Zanshin.
I'm not going to count out Demo of being able to at least pressure it, because we've seen Demo good on hit scan. Oh, Demo's almost down to the far already. I don't think they were expecting it. They were waiting. Demo's kind of hovering wall, trying to wall off roster, it looked like.
I suppose the other note is there's no Mercy to go with the Farah, which prevents a lot of that less pokey sustain.
Losing Mystic Angel here is huge. You no longer have the group healing. Lily Night Raven on the Ana is your only source of healing. They've already used their anti-nade. Live in Truth also actually antied themselves. Lily Night Raven falls to the Shatter. Kind of losing Mystic Angel there just hurt that team's ability to kind of stay grouped up. I mean, we see Demo over here. I don't even know how Demo ended up on that high ground. I don't think a wall can lift you high enough to put you up there.
I think he actually got booped, chain booped by several things. But That's kind of goes back to the point I was talking about the Junkrat. You'd really like to have maybe Daddy play the Mei and then Demo on like an Ashe there, which kind of accomplishes that same area denial thing, but also protects you from Afara.
Well, we may be seeing... Oh, Zombs gets shut down there, trying to pop the Shatter. Daddy needs you popping the Riptire, finds the Pharah, that's all it's gonna get though. Nano Boost gets invested here on the Living Truth, trying to take the fight with Roster, able to take them down. Daddy needs you getting the healing they need to take this fight with Awesomely. However, the Riptire from Pokken finds the support line. Zombs finishing off Pokken though. It looks like that's gonna be enough for KO to stay in this fight, start holding again.
I want to shout out Living Truth. He stopped Shatter with a rock. Roster's Shatter died to accretion there. Actually, probably making a huge difference. He probably would have been shattered by it, and then potentially, you know, one or two more members that didn't catch the exact angle. I like this position from Daddy, actually, over on the opposing high ground, with no poke, really. It's a pretty powerful position.
The pin onto Zombs. Is it going to be enough? Lux gets invested, able to lift Daddy Needs You. The kill does go through, too, but a huge Blizzard coming out on point from Demo, freezing 3 members of KO, but...
I do want to point out... It was not enough, but I do want to point out, if this ends, one of the funniest things I've seen in a while.
Well, Living Truth actually got trapped, I think?
Trapped and smacked.
Yep. Unlucky. Literally Night Raven just got vacuumed into that. Nice Riptire from Daddy Needs You, able to find Pokken. That might be the start of the momentum you need to start flipping this fight. The Nano Boost coming in on the Reinhardt with that new buff, that is just terrifying if you're anything with less than 300 HP. Demo getting pinned here actually might have been ideal. Had he not gotten pinned, Living Truth would have. And Living Truth and Ruling Night Raven are their only 2 sources of stall right now.
Living doing a great job
of... Living Truth is still hanging in there. Just barely, finally gets knocked out. Zombs and Demo get knocked down to the Shatter. Can Mystic Angel make it out onto the point in time? They've almost got Coalescence here. They're going to go ahead and use it. They don't have the Fade to use anyway. Really Night Raven making it back onto the point. Pokken going to use Riptire. Going to look for a clear on point here. That actually might be key. Demo on the Doomfist, finding the pick on the Crossfire. But unfortunately, Living Truth has to get off the point. And Zanshin, or sorry, KO are going to finally take the point.
That was a pretty fantastic stall effort on the side of Zanshin. I give them that. What I want to walk back to for a humorous moment that I don't know if the camera saw, but I laughed my butt off.
What, Doctor got slapped? Or...
No, the Blizzard came down and froze Dr. Penguin, who was playing Junkrat at that point. Or maybe it was Pokken, I don't know. Whoever was playing Junkrat, they got froze. And then Daddy yeets a mine at them. And they get bounced up while still frozen in this blizzard on the moving platform and just like shuttled out. It was the funniest freaking thing I have seen in a while.
Oh, no, I don't think I caught that.
But anyway.
Okay, well, this time on the defense, KO actually opting to run a really similar composition, dropping the Ana for a Zenyatta and the Mei for a Pharah. Again, lacking the hit scan to be swapped, or to just have just in case you need it. If there's an aerial threat, they're heavily relying on Doctor to take care of it, but they're not going to see that. Actually, Doctor's going to be rather uncontested for this first fight.
I suspect with No Mercy that changes, I would hope. But we'll
Zombs chucked down 1/3 health, almost dead now, but they find the first pick. Half of Zanshin tactics have already been removed from the fight.
2/3. 5-6. Oh, they're not. They're not gonna get the 100%. Do we see swaps? We do see both swaps. We see Daddy over to the Junkrat. Oh, Daddy onto the Mei, and then we have Demo on the Kree. Well, Mei Kree action.
This is my will.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, Pokken.
Demo really kind of getting ahead of himself there. And now, you know, Dr. Penguin kind of free to do what he wants. We do see more swaps come out.
There's a lot of poking here. We do see Dr. Penguin just kind of hanging out in the open area. Daddy needs you trying really hard to land an icicle on the Dr. Penguin. I would assume Dr. Penguin's just trying to... Oh, Demo with a nice 2-tap onto Penguin, takes them out. A huge shatter coming out from Zombs, finding 4 members of Cosmic Omnics. They find the final blow on the roster, but unfortunately Zombs goes down to Crossfire. I don't know if Zanshin are actually going to be able to push on this. Not after that. Crossfire finding another final blow on the Demo and actually forcing out. Crossfire's actually going for more. The frontline Zen.
No, Crossfire's obviously feeling himself this evening, and he's really, you know, pushing the limits of what I might even consider, you know, correct to do with the Zen, but he's paying off. He's hitting the
nice flux,
shots.
finding the main tank, finding the Zenyatta. Zanshin have a pretty strong attack here, but the counter ults coming out from KO might be enough to hold this for them. They're actually... Ooh, Penguin's in a lot of trouble right now. Able to find the pick on the Demo, now rather uncontested. Living Truth falls to the barrage, and the support line's also endangered by it. Zombs is going to bring them back out on the point as safe as can be, and they're going to bring Daddy Needs You back into the fight. That's going to be able to take Penguin out of the fight. Zanshin tactics look like they're going to hold here. I do believe the call for Syndicate to get out has been made. They're not moving towards point anymore.
Yeah, it looks like they're back. And we see Dr. Penguin swapping over to Zavidomeka.
New defense point predicted B.
Okay. Daddy getting pretty aggressive here. With the tanks taking the long road rotation. Possibly the flank.
What's coming out? Picking up the Mercy and the Sigma. Sigma discorded. It falls really quickly here. Mystic Angel going to be able to get the res. The tire, though, it might just kill Living Truth again. Yep.
Yep, there it goes.
The Mystic Angel can't move. Poor Mystic Angel. She was just floating up behind that pillar trying not to get sniped by Penguin, and so Crossfire takes an off angle and shoots her.
We have the deep flank team. I want you to notice, we have Reinhardt and Demo all the way in the back.
Oh, you're right. I just turned around and saw their silhouettes.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even see them.
Do you think
They don't know. They don't know. They don't know.
Yeah, they don't.
know.
But do you think they might get like sus when they realize there are 2 members of the team not there?
They're so deep.
I
Like,
hope
how
somebody
sus can you
sees
be?
it. They're just
They're
sitting
thinking
there.
about it.
KO can't actually. They're not going to get any value out of this because
No, they
KO
already
pushed
lost
so
the
far
fight.
forward.
They pulled the trigger after roster had already shattered the other 4 members of their team. Like, that was a legitimately not bad idea that they kind of choked
Zom's just taking a
a
platform.
little bit.
Zom
gets out.
You take that. You take that. You don't feed that much ult charge in it.
That's
It is unfortunate you lose
550
that
less
fight.
HP.
Yeah. Roster gets hit by a rock there. Gonna get topped back off pretty quickly though. Daddy Needs You falls to Penguin. Awesomely is out here on the Sigma just riding the platform.
Oh my god, what game is this?
Awesomely.
Demo's chasing on the Echo. Can they get the kill on the Awesomely? They do.
Yes.
They get each other.
But they
That actually is, that could be huge here, moving forward. The Transcendence being invested by Crossfire. Huge shatter coming out from Zombs. The Crossfire gets in between him and Zombs. not allowing the pin to actually kill anybody, but it doesn't matter. KO's coming in here, they want these kills. Can this tire turn things around? Pokken does find a pick on the Demo. Kosmic Omnics making a pretty good recontest here, but Zanshin still finding the final blow. Syndicate in the corner, trying not to be noticed. Roster now occupies the corner, just getting swung at by Zoms. They're just holding shield, but the Fire Strike goes through and finds the pick. I'm not sure they're winning this fight fast enough. They're actually losing some pretty key components. Their support line is gone now.
No, if I'm Demo, I'm thinking about, can I build an ult to... Oh!
Shatter coming out onto the Reaper. The pin doesn't actually go through though, they miss it. And Penguin finds the pick on the Demo. This is starting to turn in favor of Cosmic Omnics. Mystic Angel is back on the Lucio, but gets shattered immediately. Daddy needs you trying to find the pick on the roster, but awesomely comes out on the ball to spin the win, actually finds the final blow. Gravitic Flux being invested here by Live in Truth, finding two. No final blows though, Crossfire able to live, and the pin comes through. Roster just took themselves and Lily Night Raven off the map together. Mystic Angel trying to stall, but it's not enough. They shoot them off the bridge.
And not even one tick.
Not even a
And
tick.
Dr. Penguin still finding stagger picks with only 10 seconds left. Demo won't be back in the fight until there's only 4 seconds left on the clock. Can they even touch here? Zoms is going to sacrifice themselves and get the touch. Live in Truth is on the point with their tank partner, but Zoms falls immediately. Daddy Needs You is gone on the entry. Mystic Angel falls trying to get on point here. The ball is gone. All that's left on point now is Lily Night Raven. Demo with the Doomfist able to charge a punch in. Finding a few people to lift, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Demo falls.
And that's match
Nobody's
for
going to be able
KO.
to make it.
Match point to KO.
KO take both Skya and so far the series 3-0.
I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, this is, it's a crazy fight, but then all these random little memes here and there, I don't even, like, what is going on?
I'm like...
Exactly, that's how I am with Psalms and Demo in the back and Awesomely in the platforms and
This is so... The execution that Zanshin are putting up is like, they're trying to be just as clever and like creative as KO are, but they're not. Like it feels like they have been challenged by the creativity and are now like, haha, we will do this too. But they're not. KO are like built around this right now, and Zanshin are trying to emulate, and that, you know, it's hard to do on the fly.
okay, so let's get on with Junkertown. And I did get an update from Jiba that right now it's 3-0 Y Walkers.
Oh
Ooh.
my.
The double upset tonight.
Indeed.
So let's get everybody swapped to both sides. So this is already a match win for Cosmic Omnics, but Zanshin can't get a map in here to try and at least, you know, say they beat him in one.
Mm-hmm. And map differential can be huge come the end of the season, because we've seen it just last season and the season before. The like playoff lock-in spot can just be 1 or 2 map differential, as well as if you're trying to be like that top seed. We've also seen that that was also really close in season 3, I believe.
Yeah, and also you never know. Just one map can get you into playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get everybody swapped here. So I guess we'll see who else comes in for KO. Feels like they're feeling really confident with their tank line right now. They haven't swapped it yet. But then again, I think their only other tank on the bench currently is Andrew, and I think they did say they were having internet problems.
Yes. Its roster has just been having a killer night on tank.
I mean,
Just
with
in general.
Awesomely there as well, not just
Yeah.
only on Zarya,
Mm-hmm.
on
The great support coming
Sigma.
in from Awesomely.
Yeah.
When Awesomely's on ball, it's also really scary.
We are having
Well, that's
K2
not to
coming
take
back
away
in.
from like Zoms and Living Truth. Those two, Zoms just came in from Volskaya, but put on a really good show on the Reinhardt. We've seen K2 on main tank the majority of the night and doing a great job at it. And honestly, having a pretty equal fight with roster. Living Truth on the off tank most of the night's been really strong as well. So
Living Truth on the Sigma has looked quite good. Like, good. You know, canceling ultimates with rocks and stuff like that. That's big. That's big.
yeah.
No, the play individually out of Zanshin Tactics really hasn't been anything to be upset about.
Okay.
I think. Oh.
Sorry, just to cut you off. It's just we're seeing something I haven't seen in quite a few seasons. Wukong on that tank line, the Diva one trick.
Oh boy. I've heard the legend of the Wukong tank.
It's not a legend. It's more that he just gets lucky. He'll say that he curves his bomb. I'm like, no, dude, the game just is.
That is about the legend that I've heard. It's usually just Wukong in like general chat saying I'm a really good diva, and then about 3 people rush in to say no, you're not. Please don't confuse people.
Yeah, he's not. He's a butt on diva. He just gets lucky.
Toxic.
Like, I think one he always brings up is in, I think it was a Dorado map where the bomb should have got stuck, and the game was like, no, you're good, and it curves up and gets like a 4K. I'm like, dude, just get out.
I want to see. I want to see Wukong pop off, and I want him to make a scene afterwards.
Okay, we are having Syndicate the DPS, so we are having our 2 one tricks, our Diva one trick and our Genji one trick.
Syndicate Slayer's Genji is terrifying.
Yeah, I always bring that up, that it's not just his blades, but his survivability as Genji.
Yeah.
And he can run into a Zarya, Moira, May. He's like, no, I'm good. Like, okay. I mean, if you think you're fine, then keep at it.
Yeah, I've played against Syndicate a few times. I've casted a couple of games that Syndicate's been on, and as Genji, it's really hard to play up against. Really fun to watch because like it's not just the Dragon Blade. It's fun to watch them just kind of dash in, find 3 kills with either like the Swift Strike or the Alt Fire, and get back out. I think the first time I remember spectating Syndicate's Genji, though, it was with a Zarya. The team played to a Grav Blade. It was just an instantaneous Syndicate found like 3 kills in the Grav, and then like another 2 kills or so outside of it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I've been playing with him for a while, and he doesn't even need a nano for it. He just goes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you hear the nano blade on them, it's just hide.
That sounds disgusting.
Literally, just hide. You're
Well, I'm talking fantasy with Korea. What are you guys talking about? I got distracted by Twitch chat.
Syndicate's Genji is terrifying.
Ah, yes.
Oh, what do you know?
Oh, and there it
Syndicate's
is.
Genji and Wukong's on Diva.
Oh my god.
Now the funny part will be if they drop this map. That'll be the big money play.
The bigger money play is if they actually win this map. Because we do see AJ on Sombra, so knowing Wukong, he's definitely gonna go for that EMP bomb.
Yeah. But we do see a pretty strong lineup coming out from Zanshin here. They're running the Hog, which is a decent pick on Junkertown. At least for like this beginning area. Once he gets out into the open, he's going to struggle a little bit, but I think he'll work out pretty good for them. They definitely want to play an up-in-your-face composition. They're going to play the not quite committed pirate ship. They're just going to slap the Torb turret on the cart.
It's more like a rowboat than a pirate ship. You know?
Roster's shield breaks here pretty early on. That does come from the damage difference here.
Katie going hard right now.
Yep. That is what I expect from
brig.
the KDB Brigitte. She will stay right on top of her Reinhardt and sometimes even push out beyond it.
Well, that is what the B in KDB stands for, is Brigitte. And bold. And brazen.
AJ's just having a good time back here. I was wondering how long it was going to be before they hacked somebody. Syndicate dashing in, finding the pick on the KDB, taking out the counter to the Genji in this composition pretty quickly. Zom's falling below the amount of health Reinhardt has, sending back the spawn right now.
Now K2 deep in the back on the Hog. I think Syndicate must know where he is, or knows he's back here.
Oh my goodness, what do they do? I can't. With
No,
Zanshin tactics
he's
today.
taking the rotation.
Well,
They
K2
know.
wasn't exactly trying to be quiet. They're not crouch walking and they're hopping around back there. If Syndicate's listening, they're hearing the footsteps.
You think K2's going for a bait play?
Well, if they are, it might work. They're gonna have to find at least one kill here for it to work out.
Nah, I think
They
he's
have
going for more of
committed
a
more
feed
resources to K2 than is on the front line, but it's not seeming to work out yet. Huge shatter
that's a
coming out from
large shatter.
Zoms though. They find the pick on the AJ. Daddy needs you the Lava, able to find one pick on the roster into the Mystic, trading out even though. Alright,
Oh my
back
gosh.
on point. Everybody's hiding from it. Cart's not moving. There we go. Into the Mystic though is gonna crouch in front of the cart. Daddy needs you having a nap over there. Huge shatter with the bomb and the EMP. Wukong able to get the 3-man bomb. And now Roster though, given the nano boost, gonna come in, try and get some even more cleanup. A lot of ultimates invested in holding here.
Yeah, that was kind of an expensive hold, but I don't think.
I feel like the
Presumably
only
goal
ultimate
is.
not used was Blade.
Presumably the
only
plan
ultimate
is
they
to win
need.
this next fight with Blade and be done with it.
Yeah, that's the only ultimate they need to hold it.
But you look over at Zanshin, they used everything they had as well.
The real, like, oh, AJ finding Manila early.
The hack on the Zoms, making them unable to protect their team. Syndicate with the Blade in the backline gets stunned out. KDB finds the kill. Always going to be hard to get the Dragon Blades off, no matter how good you are when there's a Brigitte in play.
Katie's out for blood.
Yeah, it's looking like this might actually be Zanshin's moment to cap A here. They find the pick on the roster. AJ's here to touch. It's going to be a very short nope, they're just going to TP out. Call was made not to get bad spawn.
Why are both of our Moira players named Mystic in this match?
I don't know, but that's going to be confusing.
Oh yeah, I have already thought the wrong one about 4 times. I think you said the wrong one at least once. 'Cause I didn't
Well, I mean, I
realize
probably
Into the
said
Mist.
the right one. It might have just been while somebody was looking at the wrong one.
Okay, also possible.
Or they can just both be the right one, so... Oh, there's
Huge
the
shatter coming out from roster. The bomb from Wukong gets sent in again. Finding 2. Gonna pretty handedly shut down this fight.
See, what did I
Bomb's
say?
falling at the last moment. Syndicate Slayer not quite gonna get out of this fight. Scratch
The
free.
Shatter Bomb's pretty consistent out of Woo.
What did I say?
And they
All the
actually
natural
do save
cover,
the EMP this time.
And he still gets a 2K.
So they push back in.
Shatter goes through, only finds Roster, but the whole hog pushes Roster into this mega room. We do see Wukong going in to save them, the nano boost going on the Roster as well. Unfortunately, Wukong gets left in that room alone. D-Mex.
Wukong
finding
double
two as the
baby
baby.
diva.
And eating the majority of Bob here. Roster's in a weird spot. Molten Core coming out. Syndicate trying to deflect it. Deflects a little bit of it. Actually uses it to get Daddy down low enough to kill them. Huge EMP finding every living member, and now Syndicate Slayer. Oh no!
Dies to KDB.
KDB!
No. That's unfortunate.
The Shadow goes through, finds the Ana and the Diva. That'll be Zanshin taking point B with 30 seconds left on the clock.
This is such an interesting turn of events. The big Syndicate Slayer Genji hype repeatedly destroyed by one Brigitte player.
I'm glad to see it because I'd be more upset if the Brigitte was losing to the Genji.
KDB gonna get the nickname Syndicate Slayer Slayer after
My
this.
goodness.
Syndicate going in again. They lose Roster fairly early in this fight. The rally's gonna come out from KDB here. Zom's charging in, finds Wukong. And this is just gonna kind of be a cleanup fight now. KDB's
Oh my god!
Katie going so far.
I bet Katie misses when, like, there was triple the amount of self-healing and the shield had 700 HP and stun did 50 damage, not 5,
Yeah.
and like, sweet lordy.
Roster looking for the Shatter here, gonna try and get the Shatter Bomb. The Shatter doesn't come through quick enough though! Into the Mystic, finding the pick on the K2, the lava coming out from Daddy actually finds Cat. Into the Mystic falls, Roster falls, Zanshin Tactics leading to turn this Guardian. Anime Weave AJ able to find two of the Deadeye, but is he gonna be able to get to the point in time? Zanshin Tactics are gonna complete Junkertown with just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Whew.
0 to 3. Switching sides.
Wow. This is fun. Like, I don't know, like this isn't real clean Overwatch. This isn't like, you know, the slickest, smoothest, you know, big brain, clever rotation stuff we saw out of KO earlier in the series. This is just like, put the pedal to the metal and send KDB at them. As basically a targeting beacon for Zoms to charge someone.
Oh, yeah, I agree 100% that this has been so much fun to watch.
Attackers
Syndicate has opted not to play the Genji into Brigitte this time around, deciding to flex a little bit of the Widowmaker this time around.
Good luck to them. We also see Wu off of the Diva. We've
This is
got
true.
the Wugma, the Wigma,
Wugma?
Sure.
Oh my.
the
yeah.
Sigmalu,
No, let's go with Wugma.
the Wugma, Wugma. Okay.
So we see the
I'm
double
really-
shield setting up on the cart. Really good decision by
Daddy.
Zanshin to let the cart just kind of move forward, enter the brawl domain. Syndicate looking for an early pick here on the Manila, not gonna find it though. Manila gonna find the pick on the them. That means you're gonna go ahead and use the overcharge. Nice hook! Able to just immediately delete Wukong from the fight. Roster trying to get back into the spawn door, they're gonna make it. They have plenty of health. Or maybe not. K2 said come back.
Katie getting a little far ahead there. Finally being punished for her B words, the bold brazen Brigitte.
That actually might be a devastating loss for their aggression. KDB has been quite the necessity to them pushing forward. We're kind of seeing it hurt a little bit. KDB has returned to the fight, but they've had to invest Coalescence now. It is forcing KO completely out. Zoms has gone all the way to the spawn door. Huge Shatter finding 3!
I'm telling you, Zoms has a homing beacon on Katie.
They're actually gonna find Into the Mystic trying to hide, but Into the Mystic gets lucky, gets some help from a teammate back into the spawn door. Cosmic Omnics sitting on 6 ults. And they kill Zoms before they actually use one. Gravitic Flux being invested, Molten Core also being invested, but they're gonna lose the Tornado before he fully gets it all off. That's actually not a very expensive ult fight win for KO. They have enough ultimates to win this next fight too.
They do have 3 on the side of Zanshin Tactics, so it's not going to be a free fight by any means.
Nope.
But I think the quality is
shield.
noticeably higher.
Katie and Mystic are kind of hanging out here outside. They get caught out together. Zoms with another huge charge. It doesn't actually slam into the wall though. Roster gets out of that with full health. The Supercharger gets invested here. The cart's not actually being pushed though, but that's fine. KO are taking this fight. They're winning it for now. K2 with a free kill on Into the Mystic with Full Hog. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Mystic and KDB trying to do work on support. Able to find a couple of final blows of their own, but it's not quite enough yet. Manila goes back out onto the point. A little bit of indecision there, unfortunately, between Mystic Angel and Zoms to actually go out and help Manila. They looked like they wanted to for a moment, then decided not to, and they're like, well, I think they're living a little bit longer than we expected them to, and tried to go forward, but then Manila finally died.
Okay. So, this is the first kind of put together fight we'll have seen from a little bit from Zanshin Tactics. And it's probably going to get destroyed already.
KDB's in trouble. She got completely split off by that dragon. Bob being invested here into the back line is going to be able to get very much done. The Immortality Field keeping everybody healthy until it finally gets taken out. Molten Core from both Torbjorns being invested here. Wukong falling to Daddy Needs use Molten Core. Zoms doesn't actually get the Shatter off. Falls to roster before it goes through. But Zanshin Tactics are able to take this crazy fight and push KO out for a little bit longer.
Okay. So we're kind of back to an ult neutral spot. Well, no, not really actually. Now that I look at it, KO just has a pretty dominating ult advantage with 3 of them up or will be up momentarily, including both of those tank ults. And
Gravitic Flux
the
and Supercharger being
Superchargers
invested at the same time. Syndicate Slayer finding a pick on the Zoms immediately. That's going to be critical. They've lost their tank line on the side of Zanshin Tactics. Manila takes out roster, but it's over. The damage is done. The Supercharger on point. KO grouped up around it and just got all the damage benefit from it. Daddy Needs You is going to touch for just a little bit longer. Gets rocked right off the point. The turret on point doesn't actually even get to build itself enough to start shooting. That'll be KO taking this objective with, I believe that was about a minute and a half left on the clock.
Yeah, about a minute 40 or so. And now we're slowly transitioning to a similar kind of steamroller problem.
Yes.
We're still looking at 3 ults coming up on 4 for the side of KO.
And going to invest the rally here, try and get the team plenty of armor before they go in. They're going to have to make the fight happen quick. Zoms just lost their shield. Huge hook from K2 pulling AJ off the high ground, but they're not actually able to get the kill here. Trades back and forth so far. The res on the Wukong though going to even things, or not even things back out, turn it back into KO's favor. But the positional advantage, Zoms with a 3-man shatter, finally going to wrap this fight up. So we see you, Zoms.
Having a little tea back there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Zom's like charge conversion rate isn't high enough for him to be dropping the bag, in my humble opinion. Because he's shooting about 1 for 10 on his charges. But all in good fun.
Monster. Ooh, the Fire Strike Helix Rocket combo. Another nice Fire Strike going through about 3 people. Syndicate with the knockback finds that he needs you. Dynamite behind roster, able to put the shield between it though. It's forcing Zanshin tactics back though right now.
Mobility back on the cart, and we're pushing forward.
Syndicate's getting the damage boost. They're fully trusting in Syndicate alone
He's
to
already
be
gonna
the
have Blade.
front line.
He's just
Yeah.
swapped in there. Yep.
Pretty sure he got stunned and then hooked. Nice ult,
Yep.
by the way, woo.
AJ up on the high ground though with attack visors. There's not a whole lot they can do to defend against it. AJ's chasing down Zombs, finds the final blow. K2's trying to hold on point. Uses a breather. The damage reduction able to keep them alive long enough. Can the tire get it? AJ shuts it down! That might have been the key for them holding here. AJ trying to knock Mystic Angel out of their coalescence, but it's not happening quick enough. The charge into the backline with K2. Roster trying to finish off the kill, but KDB finds Roster first. This is really back and forth right now. KO getting the majority of the final blows with the respawn advantage favoring Zanshin Tactics. Syndicate, who was trying to take out Zombs, gets taken down by Manila. A huge shatter coming out from Zombs yet again. Getting a final blow on the Cat 2. Wukong falls. And now there are only 37 seconds left. Zanshin just have to win one more fight.
Basically a purely ult neutral fight, probably. Maybe we see something come up late in this next fight, but otherwise, nobody has anything. The closest is a 70, 80 per. Okay, Mystic actually will probably find it off of the
Yeah,
jump
into
trap
the
post.
Mystic, gonna get Valkyrie here.
Manila
Manila takes out
finding
Anime
AJ?
Weave AJ really early. The res is no longer going to be in play now. But K2's in a lot of trouble down there. Or sorry, not K2, Zombs in a lot of trouble managing to find the pick on the Syndicate Slayer, which is huge. But Roster with a 2-man shatter, trying to get the final blow on the KDB, but gets knocked back too soon, not able to find it. Coalescence being used here from Mystic Angel. They've managed to get their ult online. Roster falls. Is that gonna be enough for them? KO's still trying really hard here, but Daddy needs you on the Junkrat, finding the Riptire, gets the final blow on the Cat's Moira and the D-Mech. It's looking like Zanshin Tactics are gonna take this one. All that's left on point right now is Syndicate Slayer on the Reaper. Nobody else is gonna make it in time. And that'll be Junkertown going to Zanshin Tactics and the series closing out for KO with a 3-1 scoreline to them.
Indeed.
Oh goodness.
KDB with the play of the game!
Oh, Katie, let's go. Oh, it's gonna be when she.
It's the double shutdown! You'll love to see it.
Ah, you do love to see it. Let's. The 80% KP from KDB.
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
That was beautiful. Everything about that last game was just great. Alright, so do we want to go ahead and hurry up with the MVP discussion?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Oh. Okay, let's do this in order. Tanks first. Who do you guys have in
awesomely.
mind? Okay.
I thought we were going for like first thing that comes to mind.
I mean, I
for
did
me-
too think awesomely. That big boob on.
Awesomely is definitely up there. I was thinking Zombs as well. Or even
Really?
Roster. Roster was really strong all night.
Roster did look pretty strong.
How about we just make up a name? We just go Rosterly, and it's both Roster and Awesomely.
I mean, both of you seem leaning towards Awesomely, so I kind of get outvoted there.
Yeah, I'm leaning awesomely. I feel like he showed more consistent flexibility
Yeah, that's totally
um,
valid.
than both Zoms or Roster as well.
Mhm.
And everything just seemed really well put together when he was in, which I think kind of showed a little bit on Junkertown as well when he was out.
Yes.
Okay, nominations are in though. KO is giving Manila and K2, and Sanchix are going with Into the Mystic and Cross. But I don't know which Cross they mean. Do they mean Cross on DPS or support? Because I don't know which one.
Um,
Probably DPS. So,
I
but
was
we
say I
can
assume DPS
okay, but we can agree on awesomely um
on tank.
on tank.
Yeah,
I can agree with the crossfire on DPS.
yeah, I can certainly see that.
They were really strong on basically any DPS you put them on. Um, especially like Doomfist on Hollywood was borderline unstoppable.
No,
Cross,
I
yeah.
have no particularly better option
Yeah.
than Crossfire.
Yeah, I mean the runner-ups. I would have thought Pokin was doing a really good job on. I think
Yep.
they played Junkrat, and even on Sim, Manila was doing really great on Ash, and even Daddy Nietzsche is
And
always on
Yep.
Junkrat, deadly, like
no,
always.
the Daddy Rat looked nasty, like
But
Yes.
very very spooky tonight. Um,
Cross with those that massive ego of going into Doomfist, using all your abilities, ulting, and just going back in. Just you can't get better than that.
so,
And
I
for your supports, I'd have to go KDB.
okay.
I
So, Chris or Uravity, please say your piece.
I was also thinking KDB.
Okay, we're on the same
but-
page.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
they're like you can make arguments for Into the Mystic for Cat. Cat had a really good showing all night as well, but I do think I don't think anybody on the support line quite did anything close to what KDB was able to pull off in that last map alone, let alone just the general consistent play from KDB from the rest of the night as well.
I could say maybe an honorable mention before Into the Mystic. They were playing. I think they did play more Mercy than anything, but their rests were really good. A lot of time they were able to keep up the team and the power boosts as well.
I agree.
Okay.
So we're looking
I-
at awesomely Crossfire and KDB.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will say, and I suspect there will be questions. It is entirely possible we are having a little bit of recency bias with the KDB thing. Like,
Yes.
but the display on Junkertown was just bellissima. It
Yeah.
was beautiful.
that was absolutely textbook Brigitte play. And it's really hard to even play Brigitte the way KDB did on that last map.
We're gonna get your boy Woo in here for an interview.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. I'll invite. He's in that group. He needs to leave the group.
So I'm gonna run this interview unless either of you want to chime in.
No, I'll let you run with it.
Yeah. You can go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. Mr. Wukong, are you there, sir?
Hello? Hello? I'm here.
Woo, welcome, Woo.
Hello.
And let me start by saying, woohoo, you're a winner.
Thank you.
So, I don't know, this is our first time running interview, so bear with us a little bit.
Yeah.
But first of all, tell us how you're feeling after that win.
Just a little bit more confident in everything we've been trying to practice. We've had ups and downs, facing two hard teams in the beginning, but we're getting our groove down. Everybody's synergizing together a lot more better. And it's like I was a little scared of this lineup because I've seen Manila play really well. Zoms is dangerous. Daddy Needs You is dangerous. Mystic and KDB are really good healers. So And Live in Truth, I've heard a lot about Live in Truth and K2 together, so I was really like scared for this lineup. They are really good, and for us to come up top is like made me more confident in my team. I was very confident in the team, but just like us winning is getting this round against this a hard team, and it greatly increases my confidence for this team.
Absolutely, I think it's well deserved. I don't think anybody who has like watched the fantasy, predictions and whatnot would disagree. This was not the expected result for a lot of people, and I think you guys really slapped everybody around, and who thought that. And I gotta say, I was one of those people. Although I had it closer than most, but you guys like look really good tonight. This is a whole different look from KO compared to the previous couple of matches, and this is spooky, guys. Like, you guys should be feeling confident. That is like everything just sort of fell into place. It felt like tonight.
Yeah, we've been scrimming. We've scrimmed like we try to keep scrimming hard teams and even if we lose, I tell them like, hey, it's okay. We lose. We just go back and do it again.
Losing's actually a pretty good way to get better.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to figure out your mistakes when you're losing than when you're rolling. So.
Yeah, it helped us figure out like maybe we can switch some people around. Maybe our healers can like get more diversity in there instead of just relying on 2 people.
Absolutely. You guys showed a lot of flexibility in that support lineup. Kind of across the whole board. I mean, yourself, you came in to play a little tank. Put up a nice collection of bombs.
Our coach Frago has been more with the lineup, behind the lineup, so he's been the mastermind behind all of it.
I see.
In Cat and Frago have been like we talk about the lineups beforehand and see what we can do. Had missed trials and
yeah. That's makes perfect sense. Is there anything that you see that you that you felt you noticed that you would like to work on, or that you felt like you had a little bit of a sore spot when it happened that you hadn't noticed before tonight?
I guess mainly our team just scouting out more. Like I think my team didn't know who was like the people we were facing. We're all new, so like not all of us, but like obviously like me and Austin, we aren't new to the league, and AJ, but the rest, I like to scout from outside of the league a lot, to bring in people from outside, because I personally don't like having a roster that everybody recognizes. I like to bring. I call myself like the Greg Popovich of the Oasis League.
Oh, okay.
I reach out to foreign lands. So I mean, like, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just letting you, give yourself the big ups, because I think they're deserved. We talked about this a little bit before the game. Like, there's a lot of, faces on KO that aren't super familiar.
Yeah.
But it's starting to come together.
Yeah, like, just makes me proud of them, and like constant battles with my coach that who we gonna pick up, who we are not, and in the end we figured it out. Trial and error. In the end, it's all that we gotta work on. Trial and error, and if it works, it doesn't. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we switch it up.
No. Well, that's cool. Do you, Kitty and Uravity, you guys have any further questions for Wu?
My take was terrible, right?
What?
Just say it. Say
Oh my
take.
god.
No.
Woo.
But you actually had a moment on Junkertown where you got demeched in the Mega Room and you got a double kill as Baby Diva. That was impressive.
Yeah, I main Baby Diva a lot.
Baby Diva, man.
Pop the Glock and put down shots, It's all sometimes what you gotta do on the Baby Diva. But cool. Congratulations again, Wu.
Thank you.
You all looked fantastic tonight.
Yeah. Yes.
Look forward to seeing where you go.
Thank you.
We can get in Nat since she did opt in
Oh,
to.
she's the one doing it? Okay.
Yeah, she opted into.
I'll leave then.
Bye.
Thank you, Woo.
Thank you, Will.
y'all. I'm excited to hear this.
Oh my God, Andrew.
The bench one. He was so happy to be on the bench. It was funny. Like because he was lagging a bit, so we were both rooting from the bench. Anyway, thank you guys. I can't wait to hear this back because I love commentary between Gravity and Crypto. It's like my favorite. So
Thank you, sir.
thank y'all for casting. Thank you, Kitty, for casting it, and thank y'all
Right.
for commentating.
Get out.
Okay, I'll leave.
No, thank you for putting on a great show, Woo. The stream heard it. It doesn't matter if he did. It's fine.
Yeah. Woo's gonna watch it back. He's gonna hear it. Thank you, Woo, for the kind
think-
words before
think
you
he's a bum.
left.
He can hear that back.
Yep.
What's he gonna do? Fight me?
I dare him.
I dare him to. Alright, we just gotta wait for Mystic Angel to get in here. Oh, and look, we have a celebrity in chat. Charles Seven Tang. Coming
Ooh.
fresh
Charlie
from the
Motormouth.
victory.
What's up, 4-0 gamer?
Alright, we just. Okay. Just gotta wait now. I think that
Not a
was already...
single person got the White Walkers game score right, and only 3 people got the.
Well, last I heard it was
the winning
3-0.
team right.
So,
It went 4-0.
it went 4-0? Oh my goodness.
They pulled the Bastion on map 4, I believe, and decided to really.
Of course they did. I wouldn't put it past them to put
No,
the
you.
Bastion.
When you're up 3-0, go for the neck. You know. that. Oh,
I'm not gonna say not do that because it's what we did in our game.
No, that was serious. That
we
wasn't
go.
shame. That was.
Yeah, that was a
100%
practice
me.
strat.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, as I told Wu, we're a little new to this, so bear with us. But tell us, you guys took a pretty hard loss there. How you feeling after it?
Actually, you say it's a pretty hard loss, but our team is actually feeling very, very good about this. I mean, technically, yes, we lost. But did we fight to the very last second? Did we bring back the last map? Yes,
Hell
we
yeah.
did. Lijiang was a close 2 maps. It was both 99 or 99-100 technically. And
No. Oh, go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead. This is your interview. Send it.
So it's just like yes, we lost, and yes, there are things we can improve on, but we have improved leaps and bounds.
Sure. I mean, it showed just, of course, across the series. I want to take back when I say hard loss. I was really thinking more. I would say you guys were the favorites going into this series. I think Uravity and I both had you guys winning. I don't know what our map differentials were, but like, I think this was a pretty good showing from you guys. Again, Lijiang Tower was pretty close. You won Junkertown in pretty solid fashion, and entertaining fashion at that. Like, I don't think that this was a bad loss at all. I just was thinking in the sense of I was expecting you to win, so I was just from that angle. But no, so tell us a little more. What did you feel like went wrong, or where did you feel like you can improve? Either way.
I feel like, I mean, as a team, for the past week we've been having a rough time with ourselves, especially in our scrims, because we've been losing our scrims a lot. And so it's been hard to kind of work through that and get out of our own heads that will get them next time and actually focus in on what we're doing wrong and what we need to fix. But I feel like we did that this week, and it really showed in our games, and we're on the upward swing of our problems.
I mean,
So it's just mostly that, like we're working our way upwards from a down moment in our group, in our team, like, and today was huge for us, especially because we pushed it so far and we made it really close. And yes, we made mistakes, but we felt really good about that last map, and we can see where we need to go from here.
so no, that's a good take. I'm happy that you guys think you're on the upswing. We've scrimmed you. We knew you are very capable of, pulling out tight wins in close maps. But I understand what you're saying. When you're down, when the scrim bunks aren't going your way, it can be hard to, find your footing again. But it seems like you guys are well aware of that and on your way to, sort of the bounce back, as they say. Already, I'm very happy to see how positive you guys are, or at least you are, Nat. After that match.
Yeah, you should have heard us during the last 30 seconds. It wasn't call-outs at all. It was just us screaming. There was no order in the last minute of Junkertown. It was just us very excitedly trying to win that, because we were very close to, they could have very easily pushed us off of that at very certain points. But luck swung our way, and we got what we needed to win.
You make your own luck a lot of times. KDB made a lot of luck for you guys this evening on Junkertown with
the
homing beacon Brigitte play. Send KDB in, and then Zoms just charges it wherever KDB is going and finds connection,
Oh yeah, and I mean, it was also a hard blow to our team because we lost Bambi recently, and we swapped Zoms onto tank, and it feels like our styles vibe more with Zom's play style, and that we just we seemed to be there was just more synergy.
That's entirely valid. Staffing changes and losing people can be very difficult. Go ahead, Uravity.
No, I was just gonna say the Zoms look was a really good look. I can agree with that. When you guys put in Zoms on Volskaya and Junkertown, you guys seemed significantly more aggressive as a team. It wasn't just Zoms pressing L1 crazy.
It was more
it might have been Zoms pressing L1 crazily, but you guys did a really good job of playing around it.
It's more because before this season we had our demo on tank, and his favorite line is L1 off cooldown. And even though
Zoms
he doesn't
lived it tonight.
Yeah, and so me and Katie, being on the team with our demo for so long, we're kind of used to that playstyle. So most of the time we push forward, and then somebody will come flying at us. And Zoms, that aggressiveness, we're used to it. But after being with such less aggressive tanks for so long, because he made it to Diamond last season and he got cut off from Tier 3 because of the Diamond rule. And so we've been playing with less aggressive tanks, and I just felt like it was fun. We weren't. Sometimes I feel like we get too worried about winning and we don't have fun with our games, and that's when we really lose.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like tonight we went in, we had fun, and we kicked some ass at the end. So it was good.
Okay,
I should have said that.
Go ahead. I only have
What were you
one
gonna say, Katie?
question. What was going on in comms when in Volskaya on your guys' attack, Soms and Demo are all the way in the back line? in point two.
Okay, so the whole thing was that Zams and Nemo were gonna go to the back. We were gonna wait for them to get to the back, and then we were gonna push in, and then we all ended up dying to the Widow and the Junkrat. So they were just kind of stuck there, and so we did another attempt at that, and it didn't go as well as we planned because they pushed onto us instead of us pushing onto them because they realized we didn't have Demo and Zams. So they just used their ults, and we just swapped.
That was kind of catching us off because we were like, huh. I think it was Crypto who pointed out. I was like, see, we just see Ryan and like Sounds and Demo in the back line. They're just hiding, and KO doesn't know.
I saw Zoms and Demo hop on the platforms, and I'm like, this is an aggressive like positioning play because they're just gonna get rolled during this fight, even with the split push. And you guys got rolled in that fight. And then I'm like, oh, but the shield and the high noon. I see the idea.
But then they realized we didn't have two people, so they just pushed onto us, and the high noon and the shield wasn't effective anymore, sadly.
And then we see Demo fall. I think after they use Deadeye, and then Psalms just makes it out through the platform. Like, okay, well.
Psalms jumps back onto a different platform. He's like,
and then it was
deuces.
And then when he got back, we were all just giggling about how he rode out of the battle on the platform. But yeah.
Yeah, that was quite entertaining to watch. It's a couple moments there that it was just kind of memes all around. And
yeah, sometimes you gotta forget that we're playing this technically in a
semi-competitive
tournament style. Yeah, semi-competitive tournament style league. And you just gotta sometimes go for stuff that normally people would be like, why would you do that? That's stupid. But sometimes stupidity works and sometimes it doesn't.
There, we just kind of, it gave us a bit of a giggle, and we're just kind of tilting our heads like, okay, well, what? But that's all I had to bring up. It was just funny.
I had one more question, at least for me. That was on going into Junkertown. Was there anything that just like clicked for your team going into that? Was there like a discovery for your team about KO, or was it like the release of like the pressure of the series just not really being there anymore, and your team was able to loosen up a bit more? What was it that clicked for your team that helped you win Junkertown?
Well, so personally for me, I was in for Li Zhang, and I kind of killed it as Moira there. I got 19.2 thousand healing. Or 19.2k healing in 10 minutes, which is absolutely ridiculous. I haven't had a game like that on Moira for a while. And then I got taken out for Hollywood, and it just kind of interrupted my flow. Volskaya was that I struggle on Volskaya a lot, but I'm still working on my 2 CPs, so so it's not 2CP is not my best map type, but we are working on that, and and then Volskaya was kind of my like me getting back into my headspace and vibe and trying to get back into like the grind of it, and then I get back on Junkertown with Katie, who I've been supporting with for a long time, almost 6 months at this point. And we're having fun, and I don't know if it was the rest of my team, but I mean for me personally, it was like we have nothing to lose in this map except for we lose, we get 4-0'd, so what? So my thought process was have some fun, try to get a win here, and if we don't, well, we tried our hardest here, and we ended up holding them pretty well in first, or attacking pretty well in first point, even though we got staggered off at the end, but we still pulled it out, and I'm very proud of my team for that.
All right.
awesome.
I think that's it. If anybody else has any other questions, if not,
That does it for me.
okay. Well,
And
thank you.
And I would also like to say to the Cosmic Omnics, for any of them that watch this stream back or are watching right now, you guys played really well tonight, and you guys have come far since the beginning of the season, and I'm very proud of both teams tonight for what we both did. We gave them an entertaining match, and we both played our hearts out, and that's all you can ask for at the end of the day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nat. Appreciate the interview. Thank you for taking the time.
No problem. Have a good night.
Have a good evening.
Alright, so that does wrap up this game. Cosmic Omnics versus Zanshin Tactics, with KO taking the win at 3-1. And our MVPs will be Awesomely on tank, Crossfire FPS on DPS, KDB on support, and honorable mention to Into the Mystic. And we will not be having any tier 3 games for a couple of weeks, but tier
Quite a
2
bit.
does start back up next week. I'm not sure what our first game back will be, but keep an eye
I
out
don't
on
even
that.
know if the next game is scheduled. Let me take a
There,
peek.
there are 2 games scheduled for Saturday, but I know one of them, because one of them is mine, is Rogue Knights versus Valkyries, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but just probably give it a
Correct.
minute and we'll see more games pop up soon enough. So thanks everybody for stopping by, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.